Hey, everybody. I bet you didn't know what we were playing today.
Jordan's keeping this from me in the anticipation. I'm sounding like the Ferris Bueller's announcer. The anticipation is really killing me.
Well, it's not letting me stream the game directly to you, but this is Blood, Shootahs, and Teef.
What in the name of God?
So, the way of Gork or Mork intended, and for the real warlords, is the hard mode. We're just gonna go normal. And this is a 2D Warhammer 40k orc shoot 'em up.
So like Gunstar Heroes, but Warhammer and also goofy orcs.
Yes, so I'm figuring this out with you, but you can choose from any of the orc war clans. So you could be an Evil Sun, a Bad Moon, a Goth, or a Death Skull. I'm going to be an Evil Sun, because that's what I always play.
Well,
you can choose between 2 loadouts right now.
All this is gonna fly over my head, by the by. I don't know shit about I don't know shit about Warhammer other than the fact that it is one of the most expensive hobbies on the planet.
Yeah, so we're caging the squigs. We're getting in.
I heard that a lot of times getting whole ass armies, if you want the full immersion experience, can cost like upwards of around 10 grand usually. And apparently the people that make Warhammer are incredibly anal about the prospect of people profiting off of their stuff. Like, say for instance, you start a comic book store and you branch out into having tabletop stuff with you. You have to contact the Warhammer people to be like, hey, can I sell your stuff at my store? And you can't lower or alter the prices in any capacity.
Oh yeah, no, they are kind of anal, though sometimes you will see stuff go on sale, even though it's not GW approved. That said, they really protect their IP, and it makes some sense because of most tabletop war games, I don't like to defend them being butts to the community, but they are one of the oldest that's been around. People will make near carbon copies of models and sell them for cheaper, resin cast. So, you know, they're just trying to fight that off most of the time when they're being reasonable. But yeah, other than that, they can be very unreasonable too. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I am going to have fun with this because GW at least is really good about leasing out their IP to anyone who wants to make a video game of it and not giving a shit what they do. And this is definitely an example of that.
Yeah, so kind of like Broforce.
So, yeah, like, just so you know, orcs never have hair. So, this dude has a parasitic squig on his head to give him hair. And the war boss just ripped it off of your head and threw you into the fight. Because, why not?
So is that like the equivalent of ripping a wood tick off of someone's head?
Probably, and then sticking it on your own because the wood tick makes you look cool.
I like the wood tick. It makes me look like I've got that third eye thing. Does this not have controller support?
It might, but at least now. Let's see. No, it doesn't. It's keyboard, mouse only.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Okay
then. I guess that's something that the devs could work on if they are willing.
Oh, you get headshots. Headshots are a thing in here.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Oh, never changes.
Okay, cool. I ate that squig. So, just so you know, squigs and goblins are just different species of orc. So they are a cannibalistic, crazy race.
Stick bomb time!
Okay.
Okay. G throws grenades. So, yeah, all these goblins down here, essentially my brothers, I'm going to just kill them for fun. Yes.
I am reminded so heavily. You know those God, what was the name of that Flash game where it was like the people that had those like crosses on their face and like their hands were detached from their body, like a Rain Man situation.
Ah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but that does sound familiar somehow.
What was its name? It was, and the main character's name was Hank, and it was like this animated thing, but there was a game of it that was essentially like a wave fight scenario.
Stick bomb time!
Oh god, this is actually gonna bug me. I can't remember. Because it was such a huge thing in my childhood to see that. So I'm trying to remember what it was.
I have to select weapon wheel. Ah, okay. I'm gonna stick with the Shootah.
Madness, that's what it was called.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah, Madness, like, on Newgrounds?
Yeah, Madness Combat. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is reminding me of Madness.
Yeah, no, this is totally like Madness. It's got an awesome heavy metal soundtrack, which you can't hear right now, but I'm enjoying the hell out of.
Okay, God, that was going to drive me crazy.
I don't know what's in there.
Because, like, I remember watching that on, like, Stick Page when I was a kid, and this is giving me those vibes.
Yeah, yeah, like, this is... Oh, that's cool. Anything in here I can get? Stupid Cadian.
Yeah, the only other thing I know about Warhammer was this one. There was this one animation, like a Warhammer 40k fan animation that was done by one dude over the course of like a number of years, and it was so well done that the Warhammer people hired him as like their animation and cinematography
Yeah, that was
person.
a Starties, and then they essentially censored it as soon as they made Warhammer Plus. Like, they hired him essentially to shut him down, which really sucks. They've been cracking down on fan animations, but since Warhammer Plus has kind of been a failure, they're not really being as stupid.
I mean, at least they didn't sue him. That's the thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's what,
it was like, join us, take the paycheck, or get sued.
Yeah, but still, though, if you're like, what's the worst punishment? Getting sued by the company who makes a thing you really like, or getting to work for them, albeit your video is now under their deal, or the video has to be just gone entirely. I'm just saying that other projects, fan-made or otherwise, have faced worse fates than that. AM2R.
Oh god, yes.
Pokemon Uranium. So, basically what I'm saying is it sounds like the Warhammer people are kind of like the tabletop version of Nintendo.
Yeah, that's actually a great way to look at it. They make a great product that many people enjoy, but, you know, they can also be assholes about anyone else doing something with a product that's not them.
Yeah. Now the difference is, here's the other thing that may make the difference. Do the Warhammer people understand the fan feedback and at least give the fans what they want in regards to new stuff?
Not always, but now we're getting the League of Votan because people wanted squats back, so, you know, there's some progress. There's some, understanding.
So I take that as a yes.
Sometimes, but not always. Like, you can't count on it.
Okay, so definitely, at the very least, like, only slightly better than Nintendo, then.
Yeah, if not, sometimes worse. Like, if you homebrew some models to use, and you go to an official event and it doesn't have, like, 75% their bits in the models you use for your army, you could have your entire army disqualified.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, they're really, really stingy sometimes. Okay, this is picking up. Let's see how good the fight is.
Feels like the equivalent of like if somebody made a fan Yu-Gi-Oh card or something and went to an official tournament and they were like, "You're serious, right? You're serious? You're seriously giving us this spiel about how this is totally a real Blue Eyes, despite the numerous, and I mean numerous, amount of grammatical errors in the description."
Well, no. Like, imagine someone came in with a Blue Eyes card that just had art that looked way better than the actual Blue Eyes card. The description was the exact same. Had all the same stat lines as a normal Yu-Gi-Oh card. But it just wasn't official, like, from a foil pack.
I see.
It's like, they aren't trying to break the game. They're not trying to, like, cheese anything. Everything is on the up and up. Mostly. It just isn't a hard view print.
I mean, if they want to protect their IP, then that's fine, but I don't know, like, fan projects are usually good because they bring you to the thing that it's from.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No, exactly. Like, honestly, I don't think modern Warhammer would even have as much recognition without people like Flash Gitz, because I know you've seen Flash Gitz animations, and he always includes Black Templars in almost everything he does.
I literally have only seen the one video. As I said, my knowledge and knowing of Warhammer is very limited.
Yeah.
Like, I just know it's a complicated game, it's an expensive game, and to understand the lore, you have to understand decades upon decades worth of context.
You really don't. Like, I hate that people feel the barrier to Warhammer is so high, but it's not. It's a goofy universe where everything that could go wrong will go wrong. I mean, essentially, take all your favorite fantasy races and the D&D setting and just throw it in space and you have Warhammer. Except instead of a deep role-playing game, it's a war game. So you're not an individual soldier, you're the commander of the army. And you are working through to see, like, if your army is effective and can survive the day. That's the difference. It's not like it's much different. There's some games where, yeah, there's role-playing 40k if you want to get into that. But for the most part, it's a war game. You build miniatures, you go and have fights with your friends, and you see who's the better tactician at the end of the day, so who's Jesus loves most. And orcs are a great army for that because you could literally hit on a 6, like, you have a 6-sided die, you only hit if you roll a 5 or a 6 with some weapons. Everything else you roll could make the gun blow up in your hand and kill all your comrades. Because they literally just build their guns out of a random junk that's there. You know, a whole military base is this compound I'm in. I'm killing my own men because I'm just mad at the boss for throwing me out of a plane to steal my hairpiece. Like, that is literally a 40-day just day in the life of a He does not care. He's mad. We stole his hairpiece. He's going to kill all of his friends and family because he wants teeth, blood, and more guns. Also, maybe get his hairpiece back. That's all that matters.
Come back to the hairpiece and it's like dyed black, or it's braided in the style of Tangled.
Yeah, and you know, you'll piss off this orc. Yeah, that's probably... Like, yeah, Warhammer is just ridiculous most of the time. And games like this are leaning into the ridiculous of it. And I appreciate that, because some people really take the universe and setting way too seriously. I love getting into the fluff. There's a reason we call it fluff. Like, the last 30, 40 years of stories and books and everything that come out, you can enjoy the game. You can enjoy the setting without them. Also, we have a glitch. Gabo.
or just a wonky AI situation.
Yeah, I'm calling him Glitch Gabo.
Yeah, this is giving me like... This is reminding me so much of the old Flash game shooters that I would play as a kid.
I know, right? So yeah, like someone went up to Games Workshop and said, "Yo, you remember those old Flash shooters on Newgrounds.com? I want to make one, but with orcs." And they were like, "Yeah, that sounds okay. Let's do it. Like, you have the IP now. Make the game."
I mean, it does look very fun, and apparently this game is co-op, right?
Yeah, you can have 4 players, and like, essentially, I chose Evil Sons, so I think that all of like the in-game stats from the board game essentially carry over to this game. So I move faster and probably have a higher jump because I'm red, and red moves faster. If I chose blue, I would be more sneaky. Or I would have, like, better aim, I think. Like, less spray on the shotgun. If I'm yellow, anytime I blow something up, it will blow up harder. Because orcs are all psychic in this universe.
I don't remember if it was Warhammer, but I remember hearing a story from my tabletop group during college about how someone apparently told a commanding officer or a subordinate no so hard that their head exploded.
Okay, I'm literally just sitting here, and when you watch this on the channel, oh my god, this is an actual, like, lyric-filled rock song right here.
Well, that's cool.
This is a full, just, orc band rocking out, and you're just walking into this. So, yeah, the opening video says this is a planetary invasion. These guys don't care. They just set up a freaking rock show and went for it.
They're kind of like the equivalent of like the flaming guitar guy from Mad Max.
Yeah. And I've seen people actually show up to games with like fan-made rock and roll models, so this is kind of cool. It's like they're at least referencing that that's a thing.
Probably the one time whenever a fan joke actually gets acknowledged and it doesn't come off as the Steve Buscemi how you do it fellow kid situation.
Okay, but I will say in some ways combat is pretty simple in this game because oh my god, they actually brought in a boss. Alright.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't really...
I mean, I get that the demo, but I was expecting I might play another round with a different class.
Because, I mean, usually the demo is meant to just be like a small showcase. Like, usually whenever I do the videos, I just happen to pick demos that have that kind of length. Oh, you
I
died.
should have been paying a little more attention. Yeah, he got me. Almost had him, though. I was trying to switch weapons.
Nice checkpoint, though.
Yeah, so let's go through this. This time I'm going to use the machine gun. I need to probably focus on using my war gear.
Breathe, buddy.
Listen up! I beat your boss fair and square. You is my boys now.
Yep, that's Orca logic.
Thieving git called Gut-Wrecker what stole something off me. Who wants a scrap to help me get it back? We needs to find a way off this soggy planet and onto Gut-Wrecker's ship. And it's that way. Where the humans are flying away. What do you say, boys? To the Yumi shags! Let's get crumping!
These are some of my favorite aliens.
Come here, get
Plus, it's just kind of cool seeing like this old Flash animation, like flat style. Especially like in a cutscene, because like this is pretty well animated.
This is
Nice shading.
good perspective.
Yeah.
Drop the gates!
Drop gate, literally.
Yep. Just drop it. Yep.
Well, that
John
was
Wick
certainly
did
fun.
it for a dog. He did it for a hairpiece.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna go back real quick just to see how much harder it is on hard and play as...
Does the changing of a faction actually affect your, like, play style?
That's what I'm wondering, because that's what I was trying to get at. In Warhammer, your faction actually completely determines your playstyle. So, like, now that instead of being a Flash Git, I'm playing as a Weird Boy, that might mean, like, I'm getting more War Gauge, or I might have Psychic powers. Playing as a Goth is going to be different than playing as an Evil Sun, because an Evil Sun is literally usually a speed freak who is focused on going fast and channeling the energies of the warp to go fast. Goth is more like generic, just war orc. They're kind of the middle of the road guys. So we're going to see if like it slows me down, lowers my jump, what it does.
Okay, so when you say goth, is it goth? Is it goth as in like GOTH or GOPH?
GOFF, goth.
Oh, goth. Okay.
But essentially it's goth. So gothic. Their armor is black. They wear black. So yeah, we're gonna see in horizontal. Go look around, jump. Press space in the air, double jump. So I don't know if like they've actually.
Don't you worry, Gates. I've got plenty of data for everyone.
Okay, I think he actually shoots faster, which is
really
interesting. Yeah. Red square spread. Oh, can be shot.
Stick bomb time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Ah, okay. So like my last grenade, I forgot I had grenades, but you remember how it like rained down fire?
Yeah.
That's probably because I'm an Evil Sun. Where now doing it releases like an electric blast. And that's probably because I'm playing either as a Weird Boy or because I'm
Never enough
goth.
data. My life for the Emperor!
That just feels good. My life for the Emperor! Headshot.
Stick bomb time!
Oh, wow, that's all right.
The Emperor protects!
okay? It's just fun slicing people's heads off with a machine gun. Where has this game been?
This game really does have you written all over it. Machine gun seems to do really well for you.
Yeah.
Light him up, man!
Does less damage, I think, per shot than the pistol, but the fact that you can line up all your shots,
Yeah.
you just get so many more shots.
Yeah, kind of like the equivalent of a Left 4 Dead thing where you're bottlenecking zombies in a hallway and you just unload.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which probably is one of the most satisfying things ever is when you can bottleneck enemies and you just domino them down.
I think the main difference in difficulty is the goblins get a little more accurate, and you take more damage.
So I guess maybe hard mode might be the way to go.
Yeah, I actually think that hard mode is probably the intended difficulty.
Okay.
Dang it. Like, I thought I could get to that squig, but I got kind of cornered. Yeah, so this is actually pretty freaking fun. I mean, if it releases for like $5-10, I say pick it up, especially if you like those old Flash games, like, you know, Stick Page, Newgrounds. If you enjoyed playing stuff like that as a kid, like, this is that, but, you know, maybe a little more higher budget.
Yeah, this does give off, and we all mean this in a very complimentary way, I should say. This just has a lot of charm to it.
Yeah, it's charming, it's fun, it's bite-sized. Like, this is not a complicated game, and that's a good thing, because this is a series where most people trying to get into it are introduced to RTS games. Which I know sounds asinine, but that's the truth. Like, RTS is what this series is known for. It's based on a tabletop game. But sometimes it's good to just have some mindless fun, you know, throw bullets at people.
Or in the case of Vermintide, chop up rats.
That is also true. I forget Vermintide actually was successful.
I never played it because, again, it's Warhammer. Warhammer don't scare me big. Yes.
Yeah, as I said, man, like it's not that bad. I literally have 4 small armies I can pull out at any time, and I haven't even put that much money into it. Like, it's overhyped for its challenge to get into. Just play as the funny psychic orcs, or, you know, space elves. You know, if you like humans, get whatever color of candy you like as your power armor and pick Space Marines. You'll have the 2D blue boys, the red boys, the green boys.
Yeah, like the one that was featured on that How to Drink video, the space wolf, the Fenris.
Yeah, the Fenrisian space wolf chapter.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, this threw way more enemies at me on hard.
Well, I mean, that should be... Well, I mean, at least they're attacking each other, so it's not like they're all swarming at you.
That's true. Okay, that was pretty cool, though. Like, this tried to bottleneck me. See, like, I feel like that Mech Boy shop should be maybe an area where, like, I can go here, and there'd be a button and I can upgrade my guns.
Yeah, but that probably would be a thing in the final game.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they add that, though, because, like, with orcs especially now that I'm a weird boy.
Or,
like,
depending...
Really cool.
Or depending on the, on when this game releases fully, it might be like the demo gets updated itself.
Could be a thing.
Because that is a thing. I've had many demos that I haven't played yet be updated, so I guess people had been giving feedback to the devs about it. So yeah, that could be a thing. And I don't know when this game is releasing, but
well, they said like August or so. Like the end page, I think it announced when they were planning on releasing it.
Okay, so it may appear more in the final game rather than an updated version of the demo.
Yeah, I just like that would be an awesome feature to have. Like,
right, but it could also,
shooters.
but depending on your loadout, it could also snap the game's difficulty in half.
Or make it more difficult, because as I was saying, like, orcs are literally the army where if you roll bad, they blow themselves up.
Right, but this is a looter, but this is like a shooter where the gun clearly is not blowing up in your hand. And say, for instance, you get an upgrade in the demo that's just like, oh, your bullets have like a shrapnel burst effect that causes area of effect damage when you kill an enemy with your bullets.
Yeah, well, I think like that can work, but the way to do it is like, okay, right now I'm probably getting a 6 pellet spread on here, so maybe reduce the spread to like 4 bullets now, and it's more randomized, so it's a lot less accurate.
Either way, knowing this is coming out soon will be good to know.
That was a good one.
I can just hear your keyboard just mashing like crazy.
Yeah, this is the only problem with having like an old school actual mechanical keyboard. It go click clack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Click, clack.
Hence why I typically Actually, I don't think this would work with a controller, considering that.
Yeah, you see how like far out I'm trying to get.
Yeah, not to mention, like, if you're using your pointer to aim down around like that, I'm having a hard time thinking about. I mean, maybe if you shot with the triggers and then used your second stick for the aiming.
Yeah, one stick's for moving, the other's for aiming, and then like a trigger for shooting, and A is jump. And you could probably make it work, but yeah, for a game with this big of an environment where it's not a tight arena, that could be difficult.
Yeah, I was thinking of it more. Yeah, if the game was not in this kind of perspective, I would say twin stick shooter kind of thing, but that's just me being a team controller scrub.
Yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because I feel like also consoles need just gimmicky fun games like this too. So if you can make it work with a controller, make it work with a controller, but
there's nothing wrong with
see how hectic they're trying to make this, and honestly, you need the quick, snappy response like I have here. Like, if I had to, actually cycle, I don't know, maybe if you made it snappy like that with a controller, just like left, right.
Yeah, I imagine you could. It's just a matter of, what I see it is just a matter of like, okay, since jumping is so important to use the verticality to your advantage, like, you could probably do the moving and the shooting and the aiming, but it would be awkward. It'd be awkward to attempt to pull off with a controller to some extent.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess maybe I believe we have seen it all, have we?
Yeah, we pretty much have. I mean, it's one level with a boss at the end. Y'all now see like the difficulty spike in hard. I'm probably gonna beat it later tonight because this is fun. Honestly, if you get it and you want to give it a try, don't be afraid to go on hard. As you can see, it's not unbearable, but you will get rushed. Just makes you have to move around a little bit more hectically. Use those grenades, use the wah meter, and just have a good crumpin' time. Like, I'm not using enough orc slang because I'm paying attention to the game, and like, you're not used to Warhammer, so I'm trying to, like, explain some of it, but, nah, like, get in here and just, yeah, go for it, like. Oh, yeah, this is a great game. Soundtrack's so far really awesome. The environments are really well drawn. Perspective's great. Gunplay's super snappy. Every weapon has its own, like, firing times. You're hearing me just mash the freaking mouse because I want to fire as soon as possible. But yeah, no, this is a great game. Put it on your wish list. It's probably not going to be too much when it comes out. And if you're scared of Warhammer, dude, just anyone in the audience, give it a try. Don't get intimidated about like all the books and Black Library and all that. The hobby has many facets. Enjoy just the silliness, the insanity of the grim, dark 41st millennium, and get into the fact that it can be campy as all hell. Like, it's not just grim dark. There's a lot of comedy to be had in it, just because things are so ludicrous. So, it may be something you like if you give it a try. That's all I ask. Anything else to say, Will?
Other than if you have any other demos you'd like for us to take a look at, be sure to sound them off in the comments.
All right, that sounds good to me. Well, hasta la pasta, people.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.